Yo, ladies and gents, Boomer here, and welcome back to Pro Player Replay Analysis. Today's video, we are responding to a comment on my Beast Mode Analysis video from Splitsy10, who says, "Bro, can you do Monkey Moon's POV versus Dignitas, because I don't know what happened, but he was not playing like himself during that series." So, the series was initially going to be about what makes a pro player as good as they are, but I guess we could also take a look and see from this recent series versus Dignitas in the EP.02 semifinals. I figured we should really look at two replays from the series because it's quite easy to judge or criticize players from the broadcast, but we're not really sure what's going on from their POV. Anyway, before we get into this, I just want to remind you guys that I am a streamer over on Twitch. If you guys want to ask me questions in real time or see me play other games, come stop on over for the vibes. I'm also a coach for Rocket League. If you guys are interested in receiving an analysis from me or a one-on-one session, join the Discord and check out the coaching section there. Links will be beneath the video. If y'all want to show some extra support, use code BOOMA in the Fortnite and Rocket League shops. Without further ado, let's get right into this. So Monkey Moon is obviously known as one of the best players in Rocket League history, obviously a two-time world champion in the open era. He's got to be one of the most consistent players out there for sure, and I can understand why players might feel he might not played up to his standards in the series. But with that being said, I feel like it's easier to say a player is playing poorly rather than giving hats off to the opposition. So we're going to go in and watch the game 3 first, which Vitality won 7-1. They Braziled Dignitas, and compare that performance to the final where they lost 2-3. This wasn't a series I got to watch live, unfortunately, so I'm kind of curious what the actual issues were. So we'll see if Monkey Moon, this Monkey Moon criticism is valid or not, or if it was just well played from Dignitas. So let's jump right in. Let's break down some of these replays, shall we? Nice, good post kickoff situation, good control there from Monkey Moon. Probably not the touch that he wanted, but nice little force. It's like they're playing twos. Zen there for the cleanup. Starting out hot right out the gate, getting the first goal. Can't really bump the cheater, so that's fine. He goes back to support. You want 2-layered defense in these kind of spots. And Stacey's already... This is what I talk about in terms of efficiency, right? What I talk about in 3v3 being inefficient in my recent video. And it's simply because these situations, right, where we create smaller situations. So post kickoff scenario, obviously there's going to be 2 players that don't have boosts. So Zen and Stizzy, which means Jack, Jorius, Monkey Moon, and Exotic are in a 2v2 in this spot, right? In the downtime, that Stizzy and Zen are grabbing boost. So we have a 2v2 scenario, right? Usually you want somebody to force, which Exotic goes, and this is like the 2-layered defense, right? So Exotic forces high, or just plays ball, whatever the case may be. Jack kind of has to try to bite on this to 50 it so that it doesn't spill. You know, he jumps a little late. Exotic, gets the beat and the 50, and Monkey Moon's in support. And just like that, we have a 3v1. So this can be done any sort of way, right? They have a million options now. And Stizzy has way too much to cover as just a single man. And these are the type of plays where you'd get these in like a ranked game or lower level games, and these chances go to waste, right? So immediately Zen's up, threatens an air dribble bump. Stizzy chooses to pre-jump, and obviously it's not the best decision, because he's going to get bumps. He tries to come back down. Zen just lands on him, and Exotic's there in support. Monkey Moon, just in case, Stizzy does get the save. Monkey Moon's covering that, so. Beautiful counterattack immediately from... Man advantage counterattack from Vitality. Post kickoff scenario, good force from Exotic. Monkey Moon missed his boost, so he couldn't really get the follow-up. Good extension play from Stizzy to Jack. Stizzy up quick with the infield covered. These infield cuts are very, very important in today's threes meta, right? You can see a lot of players would default and they'd go back post or they'd go for the back boost, but in reality you need somebody covering something. This is the difference between competitive versus ranked, right? Somebody's going to cover what needs to be covered. You fill gaps here, right? Zen is now man-marking Stizzy, essentially, or forcing Stizzy to jump, right? Otherwise, he's going to bump him or demo him. Jack's taking up that midfield option, so he's playing like the shooter position, and Joris is just playing, the normal safe third man. right? He wants to cover anything that spills out here. So Stizzy is forced to use his option, right? Because he has to jump early. So any touch high, Monkey Moon's going to have. Anything to the corner, that's a waste because Zen's going to have it with full boost. So he's kind of forcing Stizzy to use his option in Jack, and Exotic then also covers that. So you can see this is like essentially a team forced cover here from Vitality, right? So Monkey Moon up immediately to force that interaction quick. You know, Zen threatening the bump, so Stizzy has to go. And then, you know, Exotic is covering the one and only option in threat, which is in Jack. And you can see he doesn't need boost. A lot of players would make the excuse, oh, I didn't have boost to beat, or I didn't have boost to be there. No. If you have good positioning, you don't need boost. 2-3 pennies is going to be your best friend to cover stuff like that, right? So now they break out in the counter again. Zen pressuring Jorius. Good control from Jorius. Exotic up quick. Monkey Moon in support. They bump each other, unfortunately. It's just fine. Zen should have some decent control here. Nice. Good cover from Monkey Moon. Seeing a lot of players would have that thought process, right? You're like, surely Zen's going to have, like, control of this, right? Because Zen's Zen. No. Like, in competitive, you play. It doesn't matter who's on your team. It doesn't matter if you have world champions on your team. You cover in case. You cover the situation in case. If every Rocket League player would play like this, everyone would stop playing blaming their teammates, right? So we cover in case. There is a world where they miss that ball, right? And he does miss it. So we got to be prepared for the shot. So well done by Monkey Moon, looking to distribute the ball over one. Gets snuffed out by Jack early. Jack beats one. Plays the midfield. Good block from Monkey Moon again. High up on Stizzy. He's already predicting what Joyce is going to do with that ball too. Covering what's most threatening in that spot. It's good 50 from Stizzy. Should be a shot from Jack. It's off the target. Unfortunate. Squandered chance from Dignitas there. Monkey Moon extension touch to Exotic. Exotic down to Zen. Zen should have a double opportunity. Doesn't really get what he wants. Monkey Moon aggressive. There, man. So this is another thing where I would see players not go for this in like a ranked game, right? Or even when we compete now in qualifiers, you see players like think as soon as they're third man, like, and they see both their teammates up the field, that it's like, this is terrible to go for. Realistically, it's not, because this is one of these spots as a third man where you have to buy time to get your teammates boost and get your teammates back behind you. And in this spot, it looks like a challenge, or it looks like Monkey Moon going for the ball, because in this spot, the ball is played in his favor, right? It'd be different if Jack had speed, right? If Jack was supersonic already and not sitting in the net right here. Let's say Jack has like full speed and he's supersonic and he's already closer to the ball. Obviously, Monkey Moon's probably not going to go for that. But you can see, as soon as he makes his decision up, you know, that even though what we're trying to accomplish here isn't like a goal. Yeah, if we get a goal out of this, like, it'd be great. You know, if he slots that top right behind Stizzy, like, great. That's cherry on top. But this, now look at how his defense is set up. So now he can go back and both of his teammates have full boost and they're set up again. It's like clockwork. Oh, there's a lot of space there. And good leave from wow. It's looks like a little panicky defense from Dignitas right there. So you can argue, like, what's breaking down this play right here, right? Because they do have two players without boost now. So obviously Zen's gonna be up to force. Looks like Jorius takes a 50 like poorly, and then Exotic is called off by Monkey Moon. Right, so they have all the time in the world, and Stizzy just can't contest something like this, right? This 50 is not in his possession whatsoever, or in his advantage whatsoever. You know, and he has to still make a turn while he's getting chased. So it's borderline going to be impossible for him to save it, and he does. He does pull out the save. He just doesn't have anyone to support him on the follow-up save, which it looks like, you know, is very, very close. It's a super awkward, high-pressure defensive situation for Dignitas, and looks like Jack accidentally lipped himself. That, I swear, that post, like the lip on the goal post, has got to be every single Rocket League player's nightmare. What a pinch from Zen. Quick follow-up shot from Monkey Moon. Easy save for Dig. So it looks like there's nothing, like, at least in terms of the flow, it looks like this is just a normal, like, professional threes game. Everybody's moving, you know, as a cohesive unit. Both teams are. As of right now, Dignitas is not taking their chances as clinically as Vitality has. And obviously those goals right out of the gate for Vitality are going to be huge. You know, Dignitas is going to be playing catch-up most of the time. So in games like these, you know, Vitality could just play, you know, lockdown defense. But obviously we know the scoreline is going to be 7-1, so we know that's not the case. They're playing very, very good defense. And these are the opportunities that are going to sting, right? It's very, very annoying when the ball's, you know, not ending up in the back of the net when you have that much pressure. So I'm sure the Dignitas players were getting frustrated, or maybe not, you know? It's hard to tell. I wish kind of more pro players would release their comms, right? So we wouldn't have to kind of speculate about what's actually going on in these spots. You know, you see that a lot in like real sports. You know, they mic up players and stuff like that. So there you go. Dignitas get their first goal on a, looks like an overextension from Vitality. Nice, good preemptive boost grab. Yeah, occupying the space now. Trying to stay relevant. Exotic and Zen confusing each other just a little bit there. Maybe a miscommunication in comms. Very, very awkward situation. You can see that these players don't typically panic. Obviously, I mean, they're professionals. It's going to be very, very difficult to make a professional player panic, right? But that's why you force... At this high level of Rocket League, you're forcing, you know, problems to pull people out of position, to draw people out of position. And then you capitalize on advantages. That's what makes it so fun at the high level, right? Nice, good post kickoff situation. Zen with a good beat. Monkey Moon trying to follow up very, very quick. You know, keep that position in. Nice little double tap, pass down. They're just so good at, like, you know, this looks like something, if you were to look at this from, you know, a defender POV, it looks like he's just cutting his teammate off. But this is something that you can calm, right? This is something that, you know, Monkey Moon could tell Zen, you know, that he's going to do, right? Because Zen's follow-up is not gonna be as dangerous, right? And he's gonna get 50'd in that spot. Monkey Moon is cutting that ball up before that 50 happens, so he's not only getting a beat, but he's speeding this ball up, right? He's capitalizing on the fact that they already got one out of the play. So you can see what his boost utilization goes towards, right? Joreus is gone, okay? He just used whatever boost he can to force Zen, and they don't have a follow-up Chow. So you could argue it might be Stizzy in the spot that needs a follow-up. They're having Jack follow-up on, you know, not the greatest amount of boost, which they have layers in their defense. And the best thing to do here is you want to play the ball at a certain pace so that you can capitalize on your man advantage, right? You don't want Joreus to get back. You don't want Joreus to get boost. And you can see this play is played just quick enough, you know, to where Joreus can get back, right? It's efficiency. So in this spot, you know, he could probably tell Zen that he's going to take it and then tell Zen to go for the bump. Because it looks like, you know, and maybe you don't even have to tell Zen to go for the bump. Zen's also, you know, smart enough to know that this is the only threat right here. So it's a very, very difficult spot for Stizzy to be in. You know, as soon as he gets off this post kickoff scenario, you know, he's got to already try to defend whatever they have to offer here, which could be a double tap, could be a hard 150. So, you know, he's trying to anticipate that. Then Monkey Moon all of a sudden throws, like, you know, that chaotic wrench in the play, and all of a sudden Stizzy's dead. So it's a very, very difficult play, but well played from Vitality to capitalize on that advantage, right? So at least from this game, right? And like I said, I might be a little biased because I did not watch the entire series, right? The video would be way too long if we go through all of the games, but at least just from this game, this is the third game in the series. It looks like Monkey Moon's playing just fine. So as of right now, we'll say like the criticism is a little unfair. It looks like Vitality's playing very, very well. So it feels more like it's going to be a series where Dignitas, you know, in this game specifically, has not been taking their chances well. So it looks like it could just be an adjustment from Dignitas. So we'll see when we get into the final. This game is pretty much over. Let's go take a peek at the last goal here. Yeah. Right. Looks like the Dignitas is kind of just like, you know, go next. All right, let's get into the next game. All right, so we got game 6, Neo Tokyo. Let's see what the difference is between how Dignitas is playing before and how Monkey Moon looks in this game, right? Tough post-kickoff scenario. Exotic's trying to buy time, you know, stall some time. Let Zen get back. Monkey Moon, good patience. Good extension play. Nice looking into space from Zen there. So already I can tell the intensity of Dignitas is much, much higher than the game before. You know, they're not giving Vitality really the amount of time to set their things up. And there you go again, Jorius pulling what Monkey Moon did in the game before. The little wrench in the chaotic wrench in the play right there. It's hard to know what to cover, especially when you're anticipating what one player is going to do with the ball, and then all of a sudden a second player comes in. Those are moments where, oof, almost got touched on that. What a read from Stizzy. Yeah, so you can see even Dignitas is all over the place right now, and they look so good on defense. You know, every single thing that Vitality, you know, would have scored in that one game 3 is not hitting the back of the net in this game. You can see Jack even chasing the demos there, you know, forcing Zen, you know, to not have the control that he wants. And their offensive pushes are very, very individual, right? As opposed to the game before where, you know, they had a lot of play between each other. Little miscommunication there. Double commit out of them. It's going to be dangerous for them. Yeah, see, and they're kind of forced to play, you know, their options. Dignitas is doing a very, very good job of making them uncomfortable, right? Not giving them the time to think right now. Not giving them the time to make the best decisions. You know, they're kind of just forcing them to go for the ball. And still Vitality, you know, can still get it in there. So, well done again. Valiant effort on defense from Dignitas right there. See, even something as little as this, right? Like Stizzy's just going to play the bump, right? So, you know, he can't get that initial pop, can't get that initial, you know, amount of pressure on the ball. Yeah, I don't know. You can definitely talk. Oh my goodness. What a shot from Jorius. Holy. See, I don't know if this is something that's calmed in the moment. Just by how Monkey Moon positioned on the backboard, I don't think, you know, anybody calmed that he was there. Because I would be more worried about getting bumped in this spot if I was Monkey Moon. Surely it has to be something somebody saw, right? I'd imagine Exotic is just focused on the ball, and also it kind of has to be on Zen to call that out, right? Because he can see Jorius still back there. Oh, he might have also been worried about getting bumped from Jorius because that's the last time he sees him right there. You know, he could have been thinking Jorius was gonna jump down and then bump. I see. This is why we would need this spot we would need comms for this spot, right? We don't know what the comms look like. This is something that, like, you definitely would need to tell each other that there's one up there. At least my team is pretty good at telling each other, you know, like one there. So you would know to go a little earlier to that. Like, the single jump is interesting. I feel like he definitely could have double jumped into that. But, I mean, this is an insane shot from Jorius. Off the ceiling, too. Yeah, and he flicks off his ball cam, too, which is just nuts. I mean, that's just well played, right? These are some of these spots where it's a lot easier for the attacking team to just be like, Jorius is like, I'm backboard. Bang it. And then Jack just says, like, up to you, and then boom. And we have a lot of goals like that where AV scores some stuff like that. And I'll try to find one in our recent scrim where I scored something like that. Oof. It's just such an awkward post-kickoff scenario, right? See, so a lot of players are faulting Monkey Moon in this spot, but it's a team effort. It's never individual. So let's see what makes this kickoff so awkward. Looks like we get a miss on our cheat and a demo instead, and then Exotic is is biding time. So this is one of these spots, right, where it's very, very difficult to point a fault. But at least for me in this spot, it makes me curious why he's trying to like buy time. I mean, he is last here. Maybe I don't know what the comms are like. If his teammates are saying he has no boost, or they have no boost, right? He wants to at least buy 1 second to at least let somebody get back behind him. So that is the only reason I would imagine he's doing this. Because in my head, logically, it doesn't make any sense why he's, you know, not challenging somebody who has no boost, right? I know Jorius is trying to just force a 50 right here, but if he just, you know, forces this 50 at this point in the field, then that prevents the danger from ever stemming, right? If we cut this ball out here, even if he 50s it like to the side, you know, Monkey Moon could just grab 1, 2, 3 pennies, 4 pennies and turn on this. Stacey's also going to be looking to play this ball. And I mean, they have Zen in support. There's a man advantage, you know, after they demo Jack. So I'm kind of curious why Exotic's not forcing. And then, you know, this ball is then played. And it's also interesting that Zen doesn't go to cover the infield option. Right? Like if I'm Zen here, like I'm going to try to track the shooter. It's very, very interesting. They like back themselves down to the goal line, even though Monkey Moon's going to be back there. They back themselves down to the goal line, for no reason, essentially. Looks like Zen's just like prioritizing getting back in the spot. I don't know. It seems like no one's putting in that extra little bit of effort to, you know, to make sure that play is safe. And then it's just like a very, very awkward double to deal with. And Monkey Moon's probably thinking like Zen's gonna have it too. I mean, he can't really do anything about that. So I mean, it just looks like a very, very awkward situation to be in for Vitality, but again, it's something that's very well played from Dignitas. I don't feel like this game is an uncharacteristic game from Monkey Moon. I think it's an uncharacteristic game from Vitality. But at the same time, if you guys just go back and you watch that first game about how Dignitas is playing, and you look at this game, you can definitely tell they made adjustments. Pacing's up, intensity's high, chasing demos, forcing for each other, you know, not giving Vitality time to build up their counterattacks, distribute their touches. I mean, these big solo plays too from the back are very, very massive. Right, very, very good control from Jack here. He's just forcing somebody up. This is more of what I was talking about with, you know, using the mechs to create space. Which again, a lot of players in Ring do not do. They just, everyone tries to score their mechs every single chance that they get, and that's counterintuitive. Oh, I should go back to Monkey Moon POV. Apologies. Go back a little bit. Just looks like it's been difficult for Vitality this game to kind of build anything from the back. You know, they had that speed that Dignitas has right now in game 3. They were the ones applying the pressure. They were the ones. Oh my goodness! There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Those little tinier pieces of effort, you know, to make sure something is going to be a good play. This is more of what I was talking about of Jack, you know, playing that cut lane, which most of the time you end up facing your net. But the things that you cover in this spot are very, very important. Because even right here, you know, if Monkey Moon is trailing, you can be able to cover most stuff, right? And including if this ball gets like popped up off the corner, if it gets popped off the sidewall, if it's hit off the backboard, this is like an optimal cut lane because you have multiple things you can cover from this spot. You can jump, play your backboard, you know, like you're the shooter, essentially beat the shooter to the ball and then look for some type of control. You know, you can cut out any of the infield passes, you know, in the box. And obviously these spilled balls into this location are great. The only thing that probably could have been a little different is it looks like Jack is thinking like Monkey Moon's right on him. So he kind of just like full sends it, doesn't slow down. And then he like tries to jump and flip into this. So it looks like the intent is to play that touch to Jorius. The only difference for this spot is, you know, if he drives and like kind of pops it or hits it up to Jorius, right? Hits it up into Jorius's path. And it looks like this is like just big brain from Exotic too, to kind of stay here and cut that for Monkey Moon, right? This 3v3 meta is very much a cut meta, so well done. Finally break them down. Might have been a little confusing for Joreuz and Stizzy in that spot. Joreuz obviously playing the extension option. It seems like Stizzy was probably cut off by that as well. Yeah, I mean, this is just like, it's so difficult, right? So, Exotic in the third man spot, you know, just looking to buy time. I gotta see how he goes about doing his chow in this spot. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a mechanical mistake. You know, it looks like he was gonna play high, and then he kind of like gets afraid, or he's afraid of the bump, maybe, or he realizes he's not gonna get it. This is kind of one of these tough things where, or maybe it's intentional. Maybe this is something that's, you know, that Vitality works on of, you know, we just jump to force. You know, maybe the force doesn't want to waste boost, so we just come down and, I mean, this is an uncharacteristic touch for sure for Monkey Moon. But he has to dodge a bump too. So this is also kind of difficult because from Zen's POV, it looks like, you know, he's going to get bumped right here. So Zen has to jump, you know. So again, that's what I was talking about at the start of the video, of presenting problems as quick as possible to not let people get their feet set, not let people get set up, not let people get boost. So in these counterattack transitional plays, they have to be played at a certain pace, right? And this is played at a perfect pace. We're just getting the ball moving and we're forcing the problem very, very early. And that almost causes the entirety of the defense to break down. And now this is where the game of attrition begins, right? We can starve resources and look for pressure. It looks like it just kind of gets snuffed out after the fact. Up very, very quick from Monkey Moon. Ends up getting demoed. Nice, good force from Zen. Follow up from Monkey Moon. It's an unfortunate whiff too. Could have been a good... See, so this is one of these spots where a lot of players might say this kind of whiff is like uncharacteristic of it, but every single player would struggle with this very specific thing. So this is one of these times where, you know, he thinks this ball is kind of like hit more towards the wall, and any time this ball kind of gets like pinched off the ceiling, it's very, very difficult to read. You want to do it at a pace so that, you know, in case somebody is contesting you, which in this spot he might think Joreuz is going to contest him, and in the spot he's trying to get some type of pop to the wall, it looks like, just by how he jumped, you know, right? He's trying to pop it up to himself on the wall, and he unfortunately just has a little too much speed going into that, so it results in a whiff. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to give the criticism of, you know, a two-time world champion shouldn't be missing that, I can't fault you for that. But at the same time, being a competitor myself, I can definitely relate to that. And it's not a mistake that gets them scored on, right? If it's a mistake that gets them scored on, then it's something I think I would criticize. But in that spot, you know, they had it covered. Mistakes are going to happen regardless, okay? I think a lot of players need to get that kind of in their head. Otherwise, how would anyone ever score, right? Mistakes are going to happen, but the difference in competitive is, you know, you cover for those mistakes. You cover each other for those mistakes. You know, in a ranked game, when your teammate makes a mistake or you make a mistake and your teammate doesn't cover it, you get blamed for it, right? Because no one's putting in that team effort to, you know, to make sure that it gets covered. So I think if it's like a mistake that's getting them scored on, you know, he's missing the ball in front of the net, which he hasn't. He hasn't missed a single ball in front of the net this game yet. Good counterattack from Dignitas there. Trying to force Zen into an awkward spot. That's a tough 50 from Exotic. And these bump plays, these little bump plays that they get Dignitas when they're kind of lurking on the other side of the pitch. Yeah, Dig has just stepped up their intensity so much from Game 3. You know, they're utilizing everything. They're utilizing the boost advantage. They're faking, they're demoing. They're making Vitality uncomfortable in control on low boost amounts too. And then as soon as, you know, Vitality does get boost, they kind of shut it down immediately. Yeah, that could be it. This could be a problem right here. This jump. I don't know if this is where they get scored on, but this is tough. He leaves Exotic in a very difficult spot. Exotic does a very good job, you know, saving that and stalling time. Can't jump because Jack's threatening the bump. He's got to play the flick quick just because he's getting chased. So this is something that you can talk about in terms of, you know, nerves or confidence and stuff like that. What a save. Can we talk about that? Holy. In these spots, in these later games, you know, where you might argue players are getting nervous or whatever the case may be. Yeah, that's a missed opportunity too. That's really unfortunate. If he gets that bottom left, it's a goal. So they definitely have their opportunities. If players are getting nervous in these games, right, Dignitas does not look like the nervous team, right? That's something I think you've got to give them hats off for, right? They have upped the intensity as much as they possibly can. They're playing at a 10 right now, and they have no intent on stopping, right? And if a player's getting nervous in the spot, they're gonna be feeling scared to jump for stuff. They're not gonna have the confidence to shoot their opportunities, but. You can see they're doing everything right now, and Dignitas is just pulling save after save. Ooh, yeah, miss aerial. Yeah, so in this OT, he's made about 2-3 mistakes. So I mean, you could definitely argue he might be nervous, but who knows? It's difficult to tell. It's only natural, right? Players don't want to lose. I'm so curious what the final goal is going to be. This could be it. Good force from Monkey Moon. Ooh. Did Exotic need that boost? He did not. Yeah, I mean, that's a questionable decision right there, too. He just boost starved his teammate. Could be miscommunication. Then Monkey Moon gets upset and goes for the back boost. And then's kind of left to defend alone for a little bit. Oh. It just looks like a sloppy. It looks like a sloppy game for Vitality. Obviously, if we were to go watch, yeah, air dribble bump. If we were to go watch Zen and an Exotic POV, yeah, it looks like Monkey Moon's upset. First one out of the game. And I know, I'm sure he knows more than anybody that he could have played better, and you know he didn't play as well as we know he can. So, but I'm sure I was gonna say we could watch any other player's POV, and I'm sure you'd find mistakes like that all over these games. But it happens. I think this really isn't a problem of how Monkey Moon played. I think it's a problem of how Vitality played as a whole. And it's straight up hats off to Dignitas for upping their intensity and completely adjusting to, you know, what was getting them scored on before. I mean, these saves at the end, right? Like, we got to talk about these because these are making all the difference. I don't even think that top left corner shot was the top left corner, like, not counted as a save? I don't think it was counted as a save. It was during this OT as well, no? I mean, definitely some uncharacteristic decisions as a whole, but you can see just the difference in aggression from Jack as well. I don't think the save. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this doesn't count as a. I'm very, very surprised it doesn't count as a shot on. It doesn't count as a save for Stizzy. Let's see. Did it count it for him? What has he got? 3 saves right now? Like, surely that's a save, no? Am I tripping? I'm tripping, chat. How is that not a shot on target? Like, what? And he doesn't get... It doesn't even record it as a save. Hello, Rocket League? Anyway. Yeah. I think that's... and okay, obviously, like, this. This is definitely... you would criticize this. You know, he's not known to miss those, so... Definitely, for sure. They could have took their opportunities better, but I still think I'm going to come away with the conclusion that Dignitas just was the better team in this final game. Alrighty, ladies and gents, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed or found this useful, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. It goes a very long way. Check that noti bell and join the Discord to stay up to date with when I post or go live. Much love as always. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one or on stream. Peace.